My name is Wolfgang Wessner. I'm a faculty of international management at Myra School of Business. I'm here today with Rajiv Sinha. He's a professor of marketing from Arizona State University and our dean. In fact, Rajiv, you are our founding dean. I pride myself in being one of the first faculty on this campus, but you have been here even earlier.
That's right.
Rajiv, why don't you just tell us a bit, how did you get involved with Myra? I mean, you're an accomplished professor from the US. What was the incentive for you to get involved with Myra, be our founding dean here, and help build up this business school?
Okay, well, I was always, because I got my education in India, I always was interested in coming back and trying to see how, trying to judge what the education system was at the graduate level, at the MBA level, because I teach a lot of classes in the MBA program. And it was always apparent to me that while there are thousands of business schools in India, most of them, the majority of them, are of very poor or indifferent quality, largely because of the lack of very good faculty. So at the same time, the Indian School of Business was a school that had demonstrated how one can overcome many of these limitations based on getting faculty from overseas. And so I thought I would like to be associated with a school where you could follow the Indian School of Business model, but at a much smaller scale, because we wanted to educate students at a cheaper price point, because the ISB tends to be very, very expensive and is out of the reach of most Indians. And so there are many, many very bright, very, very good students in India who cannot afford to go to ISB even though they might be able to get into it. And so that was my motivation: provide world-class education, get faculty from overseas who are highly qualified and who are award-winning teachers and researchers, and expose our students to these highly qualified faculty.
Now, if you were a student, or a prospective student, looking for an MBA program, a business school to spend like a year for a PGDX program or 2 years for a PGDM program in, what would you suggest them to look into when they evaluate different business schools?
Right, so the key thing of course is, given the way business schools work, rankings are very, very important. And so you must consider rankings, that's a given. But of course in India, there might be, for example, a lot of halo effects based on for example, the IIMs are world-class institutions, but not all IIMs are world-class institutions. So now there are plenty of IIMs that are new, that are recent, and if you look at their faculty, I would say that our faculty at Myra are significantly better. And so,
thank you, that's nice to hear.
Including you, of course, Wolfgang. And so I think I'd advise students to look at, not to go beyond just blind rankings and evaluate the strength of the faculty, the cohort, what other kinds of students are being recruited at a school, and of course, ultimately placements are very, very important. What kind of jobs students are getting. And we are a very new school. We've had just one cohort so far. We just started our second cohort. And so we had an outstanding year in terms of placing our students with internships, and we look forward to placing them in great jobs this year.
And we have already received the first batch of PGBX students has been successfully placed. They have gotten some good salary hikes as well, what you expect when they join a business school. And out of the current PGDM batch, which is now going to graduate in about half a year's time, the first of them already have job offers as well.
Yes, a few of them already have job offers, so that's a great sign. Because I think employers are looking at not just the ranking of the school, but because we are a private school, they can see that our faculty are really exceptional.
Yeah, they're looking at education, quality of education, and quality of education leads to expertise, and expertise leads to a good job, hopefully.
Sure. And I don't want to minimize the importance of infrastructure and facilities and so on, and I think Myra has done an outstanding job on that front as well.
Now you have been teaching a course on product development, new product development to be precise. And we're teaching out here an intensive study module of like 2 weeks, intensive, one topic.
Yes.
Can you tell us, Rajiv, what you have been covering in new product development? It sounds like a real exciting topic to me.
Yes, so this new product development class, which I've taught all over the globe, is basically the idea is that we want to look at how you can develop new products from the customer standpoint. So we want to try and take a look at how we can use customer inputs in order to develop new products. And as part of that, I show students, I take them through multiple techniques. The idea is I want to give them a tool that they can, ideally using Excel, that they can take back to their workplace and apply. So some of the topics we look at are how do you calculate consumer's utility for different product attributes, using tools like conjoint analysis with which we can calculate willingness to pay, how do you price a product based on that, what would be the market share for products, all prior to launching. We talk about forecasting techniques, both with and without data. We look at how do you place products in a perceptual map so that a manager can understand how his products are positioned relative to others. And then we look at how you can actually move products around and move them in a way that you can maximize market share. And finally, in the last couple of modules, we look at marketing mix variables, the impact of pricing and advertising. How can you actually calculate the optimal pricing? How do you look at optimal bundle pricing? How do you look at what is your advertising budget? Is it over? Are you spending too much or too little? And finally, customer relationship management and data mining.
Now, this sounds like an interesting and comprehensive topic that you're covering out here. How do you do the teaching?
So, because this is intensive, I mean, what happens is that the students have 2 weeks in which to process this. So, rather than simply lecturing to them and hoping that they go back home and work on assignments, they might not always have that much time. I use part of my class time to give them assignments, in-class assignments. And these kind of help them understand because they apply whatever they've learned in the classroom, they apply it right there in the classroom again under my supervision. So I think most students are getting how to do it, how to analyze data, how to make managerial decisions based on that. And of course there are 4 projects. So they have a project delivery every 4 or 5 days, multiple projects on certain days, so that not only are they learning in class, they must go back and apply that tool or technique to a different data set and submit that for a graded.
So it's a real practical approach that we're taking out here. And I think this is what we are really famous for at Myra, a practical approach, practical teaching. After all, it's an academic environment, but it's a business school. We're trying to get people ready for the business.
Absolutely, that's the goal.
That's the goal. And ladies and gentlemen, this was Rajiv Sinha today with me at Myra School of Business. Rajiv Sinha is our Dean and a Professor of Marketing at Arizona State University in the US.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv.